question 20 is also a very standard question. It's about a clock. So in this question, we want to find what is the measure of the acute angle formed by the hands of the clock at 4:20 p.m. Yeah, so basically, like, this is a very common kind of question, like, where they give you a time on the clock. They're like, what is the angle formed between the hands of a clock at whatever time? Like, that's a very common kind of question. So it's good to, like, do a lot of these kinds of practice so that whenever you see these kinds of questions, they're just like free points. So hopefully. So the idea with these kinds of questions is you're always going to draw a clock. So you draw a nice circle. So the general strategy with drawing clocks, you write down 12, 3, 6, 9. And we can fit the numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11 into the clock. Okay, so we want to know what is the angle formed at 4:20 p.m. So let's just first draw what is it going to look like? What are the hands going to look like at 4:20 p.m.? So at 4:20 p.m., we know the minute hand is going to have to point towards the 20 mark, the 20-minute mark. And then 4:20, we know that like the hour hand is going to point somewhere between 4 and 5, right? So it's going to point somewhere between like 4 and 5, somewhere in the middle. And we want to basically find what is this angle, right? So the idea with this question is it's good to know that, like, there are 360 degrees in like the entire clock, like 360 degrees, like in a full cycle. So that tells us that like we kind of have like these 12 sectors kind of that these 12 numbers divide it into. So we can kind of say like each of these like between every two numbers, right? This is 30 degrees, this is 30 degrees, this is 30 degrees, right? Between like any two numbers, like between the 12 and the 1, the 1 and the 2, the 2 and the 3, so on. Those are all going to be 30-degree angles. So we know that like 20 minute, we're at the 20-minute mark, right? 20 minute. We know there are 60 minutes in total. So if we do 20 minutes divided by 60 minutes, that gives us 1/3. That tells us that the hour hand is 1/3 of the way from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, from 4 to 5. And if the total thing is 30 degrees and it's 1/3 of the way from 4 to 5, then the measure of the acute angle would just be 1/3 of 30 degrees. And yeah, that would give us 10 degrees. And that would give us choice D, which should be the right answer.